Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 213, Lamar Scalper.
Yeah, well, we're getting back to starting off things in the new year. We got this movie coming out. I think it comes out January 16th. It'll be available. So we have a crazed person who took it all the way back to scalping.
Well, let's get right into it. What do we think of the story?
So we have a masked man going around scalping people.
Not just scalping people, Lamar.
You're very right. That's what he's known for.
Yes.
Because this hasn't come out yet. Do we want to spoil things?
No, we'll just say the first scene is there is a violation.
Bruh. Like, well, going back to the story, this scalper is making a comeback because he was actually stopped by a psychic, correct?
Yes.
And she's, being interviewed, but then her boss gets killed by the scalper. I didn't expect that. I thought this was going to be just like a run-of-the-mill, they have to stop this scalper guy.
Yeah. The psychic teaming up with the detectives, and there was a supernatural element to it where she was getting some clues from the ghosts. So I liked that part of it. I thought it was, at least gave it some spice, because I was like, man, this is going to be, another Michael Myers type of whatever. Yes. And I was prepared to be bored, and I wasn't.
I thought it could have had more, though.
Yeah.
What you said was a good premise, but I thought it could have been more.
Well, what do you give it?
I gave it a half a point.
Half point? No, I'm going to give it 1 point for the story. I like the elements that were there. It wasn't too long. So yeah. Next category, Lamar. What did we think of the characters?
We have the psychic.
Yeah.
We have we have some somewhat famous people. We have Jake Busey.
Yeah.
He's in this, and then also Ling.
Yeah. A little cameo, pretty much. More than a cameo. A little more than a cameo.
Little bit. And then the rest, you have Jake Busey, he plays a detective. He has a partner. And then we have the psychic's father.
Yeah. And she's reaching out to the ghost, which I think is a ghost of her ex-husband. Or dead husband, I should say.
Yeah, because he was involved in all of this.
Yeah. I mean, did you find that the characters weren't very unique or anything?
Nope. It was kind of run of the mill. Just meh.
And I think the psychic did well.
Yes.
In the character. I'll give it a half point because that was a good character.
Agreed. Half a point.
This is a horror/thriller, so we expect to see special effects. What did we think?
I liked them.
Yeah.
It was all practical.
Yep.
It was, and then of course there was scalping, but there was also like face being torn off.
Right.
Face off. Yeah. So I liked that stuff. I mean, maybe some people would consider it hokey, but I liked it. I thought it was it fit with the movie, in my opinion.
It's what you expect. I mean, it's a B movie, so it's supposed to be over the top. The scalping, which was practical, looked cool. And like you said, the wearing the people's skin, which, okay, that's been done in horror movies forever, but it's still pretty cool, like if it's done well. We kind of mentioned that the opening scene had some special effects.
Well, they were practical.
You don't want to spoil it, but yeah. But anyways, I'll give it 1 point for special effects.
Agreed. Yes.
Our next category. What did we think of the scalper, the killer?
Scalper, it's an interesting idea.
Yeah, it's a calling card.
It's the calling card. But like killer's motivations were kind of just like, yeah. Well, would you say it was revenge?
Misguided revenge, I think.
Yeah.
I like when you get some backstory or some explanation to the motivation of the killer, but they did a full reveal. And once it was revealed, it was just kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess as a horror movie, thriller movie villain, the scalper was kind of lackluster to me. I'll give it half point because it's a cool gimmick.
They didn't go any further than that.
Yeah.
That's it. Half a point.
Yeah. Our next category is going to be sequel potential.
If there was a reason he chose scalping, or something like that. If there
Yeah.
was like more like clues to lead to like who this person was,
Mm.
or maybe it was something bigger, I would say yes. But as of right now, it's just kind of like, oh, scalper. Okay, that was meh.
Well, they would have to restart it with a new scalper anyways.
Yeah,
So it could be a copycat or a completely different storyline altogether, right?
yeah,
Then maybe, like you said, you'd have to make it so the person chose scalping as their calling card for a particular reason. That'd be
yes.
kind of cool. Also, would you want to bring back the psychic element?
I don't know.
She can
It's an
communicate.
interesting thing. I will say that.
Hmm.
But is it needed? That's
Yeah,
my
is
thing.
that always the reason, or is that always the way you stop the scalper? Like you need the
Yeah.
psychic. Kind of the only element that really makes this one movie unique, though.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you give it for sequel potential?
I say a 0.
Oh, okay.
I'm not really
Not down
keen
with it.
on but
I'm giving it
still.
a half point because I am down with seeing more of the scalper. You know, it's got to be like it's got to be more like that movie Cobra.
Okay, but
If
and
it was
see,
more
that's
like
the
Cobra,
thing. Yeah, like I think if I'm going off of seeing this movie, do I want a sequel to it? I'd be like, I'm not
yeah,
hyped for it. I like the idea of a scalper,
right.
but other than that, it's just kind of like, meh.
What if they send the scalper back in time, Lamar, and
Okay,
he's
okay.
scalping people in the past? Since he's scalping people in the past, the people in the future have no hair. And now we have
No,
a few.
Joe,
We
that
have. Wait, hold
doesn't
up.
make
As a bald
no.
man, I thought you'd appreciate this
You're
premise.
doing it wrong, Joe. No, 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 no. That's not how baldness works. You don't scalp somebody and then they have a bald child. You,
No,
you
he's just
lost me
scalping
on
every.
that one.
No, wait. He's scalping people, so baldness just becomes like the thing to do. And then along the way in the future, one guy's like, you know what? I want hair. You don't like
I'm not
that?
feeling this one, Joe. I have to see me. If I did this, I would like it. And this sounds crazy. What
Hmm.
if it was like a man that was always made fun of being bald? And so he goes around scalping people and stuff like that. And then he gets like his whole cabal of bald people. And then that's what they do. And it's a whole thing.
That just sounds like the Lamar manifesto that's written around
Mhm.
somewhere.
That would be hilarious. I think it would be funny. But you
Oh,
lost
okay.
me on the whole thing where it's
Yeah.
like you go around scalping everybody. Well, we're just gonna be
Well,
no.
he's scalping the people in the past.
I try, Joe. I try. You lost me on this one.
Well, then, Lamar, we've tallied the score, and Scalper gets a solid 3 out of 5.
Yeah, it has potential, but it didn't go far enough.
Yeah, it was a good watch. I enjoyed it. It was kind of interesting because it was dark, but it had a campiness to it at the
Yes.
same time. Like, even when it was getting kind of like dark, it still was campy, but not trauma campy. It was like in a good pocket. So,
Well, it's better than a man going back in the past and just
mhm.
scalping people.
Scalping people, and then baldness becomes the thing that everyone does until somebody decides to have hair. And now everyone is trying to kill that guy because they think that he's a villain or something.
You lost me on
Ah,
this
the
one,
hell with
Joe.
you then. What do you know? You don't have hair.
You're right. I don't have hair, so I don't know. If they scalp me, it'll just be skull. So
Yeah.
it don't matter. It's just
Uh,
it is what it is.
no, there you go. Anyways, all right. Does that wrap it up then?
Yeah.
Scalper. Peace.
Deuces.